You're from San Diego, which is where my favorite trio of all time is from.
Blink-182.
Blink-182.
Cole has some cool Blink lore that you might geek on,
My
dude.
best friend from childhood, his dad managed them like in the 2000s.
Was it Rick DeVoe?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
you know Rick
God. That's
He's
sick.
such a fan. I love it.
You guys went to Korea and
Yeah,
you went to
dude.
Japan as well. While you guys were there, you went to Tower Records.
Last time we went, 'cause we've been there before, was the first time we had a little section, which was cool, like an Almost Monday tab.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You had one of the tabs, one of
of
those
the
white
tabs.
tabs with your name in black.
Yeah, there's
on
like
it,
two
so you
CDs.
guys-
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because the others were sold out. Are you guys still driving the Green Machine?
Yeah, dude. Your research is great, man. Like
Oh,
you know what
thanks.
you're doing, man.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
I like the research.
Well, boys, this is the narrowest room I've ever interviewed someone, and we're all so intimately close.
Yep.
But look at that, we can touch so closely. We're just going to do that the entire interview. But this is the last stop of your U.S. portion of your headline tour. As for you guys, you're from San Diego, which is where my favorite trio of all time is from, if you guys can guess.
Blink-182.
Blink-182. Am I giving it away? What I love about your guys' stories, you're just some young guys from San Diego that got together and started doing this as well. So you guys have known each other since you were like 12?
6.
Since you were like 6?
Yeah, we were friends 20 years, yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did you meet? Like first grade type thing?
Our parents, right? Our sisters, older sisters were friends, our parents were friends, and then naturally, you know, he came over one day and we climbed my fort, I think it was, and the rest is history.
Did you guys ever do music while you were younger, and had music always been a part of your friendship?
Yeah, we grew up playing in church together, so, you know, banging on trash cans and like church is like one of the only like platforms, I swear, that you can get up there and be really bad, and people are still like, yeah, keep going.
In a way to
doing good."
practice.
And seriously, yeah.
And that's what I love, because it's cool to see the stories of people who started working together when they were so young that didn't know if they had talent, to see what it's grown into now.
Yeah.
So that's got to be exciting. Was your first show back, I think, was Lollapalooza? Is that correct? After COVID.
Somebody tell me, am I cool enough?
Before COVID, did you guys do any shows? Had you guys been playing?
Yeah, we've been playing live shows since like high school. Like we started in like Cole's friend's surf shop, and so we were doing that circuit, and then we were on a tour with this band called AJR.
Here we go.
Right when we got signed, and then COVID hit. But yeah, first show back was Lollapalooza, which is pretty proper. Lollapalooza, how you guys doing? That show, I feel like for us, will always be really memorable, because it was like the first time that we put out all this music during a pandemic, so you just see numbers, but you don't see faces. So Lollapalooza was like, I think, the first time that we saw real people singing back
And you
words.
could see people actually were listening
Yeah.
and were there. So when
Yeah.
you guys put out Don't Say You're Ordinary, was that the timeline for it to come out, or did you have to delay it at all because of COVID? I know a lot of artists who were like, we had February, March, April, May releases, and we had to keep holding off because of COVID.
We made a pact, or not a pact, but like with our label and our managers, we were like, we just want to like put music out. Like we can't play live. Like let's not just sit around and not do anything, you know? Which in retrospect, I think we're sort of like, I think a lot of people were maybe like, oh, like let's make sure we can like tour with it. But I'm really glad that we did just put music out. Like we did like basically 2 EPs during that time.
And then Dive was obviously the big one that you guys finally got to put out a full body of work. That came out last year. This year you put out the updated version of it.
Deluxe, yeah.
Deluxe version, that's the word I was looking for.
Nice.
And you guys have 3 extra songs on that one, right? You have Sequoia.
You know that I really adore you. You wanna trip through California. Might not be as rich as a lawyer, but you can lean on me like a sequoia.
you went back and revisited Jupiter, and you brought, is it Jordana or Jordana?
Jordana.
Damn it.
But you brought her
Jordana.
on a brand new music video for it as well.
Yeah.
Certain that you feel this motion, like a shifting tide, a swift embrace.
And then also the song Holiday.
Yeah, I mean, we had those songs written like at the same time we were writing the album, so they were always there, and we didn't want to make an album that was like 20 songs long, like way too long, so we did the toughest process in the world, which is whittling it down to 10 songs, and those 2 songs that didn't make the full album were just ones that we like really wanted just our fans to hear and stuff. So we're like, oh, why don't we do like a deluxe thing and just give people a few more songs to hear, and then we also were lucky enough to have Jordana hop on for a feature, our first collaboration really ever, I guess. So
Yeah.
that was pretty special for
And
us. Yeah.
How did you guys get to collaborate together? And again, there's a music video out for it as well.
Yeah, she was an artist I started listening to a few years ago when she did that collaboration album with TV Girl.
Do you think it would be weird if I dropped into a dream? Always the first to know, always the last to leave.
Just thought her voice was like insane, and then we were looking for somebody to hop on Jupiter, and she was just super down. We've never met her before, but she came and tracked the vocals and sounded like amazing. First take, she like made a
We
verse.
begged her.
And,
Please give us your sauce. Please make this song good.
We need the magic sauce. But you've been able to travel so much as well, from these guys that started in San Diego together. Your first international show was in Australia.
We have a very special performance for you today from one of the hottest new bands out of the US.
Which I have close ties to. My dad is from there.
Oh,
and
sick,
so
dude.
I've always grown up going down there, and
Whoa,
it's an
that's
awesome
sick.
area. Did you guys have a good time out there? Did you get to surf?
Yeah, dude. Australia is like definitely the place. If like I couldn't live in San Diego, I would live in Australia.
Yeah, so
like
you
it's
enjoyed
very much so. Like I feel like maybe me and Luke have said this, but like it just feels like you're like distant cousins over there.
100%.
Like Sydney.
Maybe it's because I have cousins over there, but I feel you. 100%.
Yeah, like if you're from San Diego, like or just Southern California, I just feel like people like I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, man, like I get you, mate. Like you know,
G'day,
it's-
mate.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, we love Oz. I hope we go back forever.
And forever, just never come back.
Yeah.
I know that was like must have been so surreal to have people like on a different continent that knew your
Yeah,
songs that came out
dude.
to see you. But then even crazier was that you guys went to Korea and
Yeah,
you went to
dude.
Japan as well. You were saying earlier, when you did Lala, you got
Yeah.
to see people in the crowd sing, and that's cool. But when it's people who natively speak a different
Bro.
language, isn't that wild?
Dude, the first time we went to Korea and Japan, it like for us, we rolled up and there were people at the airport like waiting for us with like signs and stuff and like flags like of our faces on it, and it was like the first time I was like, yo, this is probably what it feels like to be like a D-list celebrity. And so Korea and Japan, like first time that I mean, it's so weird, dude. Like not like in a good way. You're just like, how have we managed like our music to like make it here and it like means something to
And have
people
such
that,
an impact.
and
which
like
is cool.
Asia is just crazy because like like if you're from San Diego, you kind of like maybe go like you take like Spanish, and like sometimes like Asia, like none of us knew any, like not like
No.
hola, like like there's like some stuff like in some other languages and can kind of like get by like maybe, but in Korea and Japan you're like I got nothing, dude. Like
I'm telling you, the new AI on phones is getting good. They have like a
Oh,
live
yeah.
translate
I've seen
on like
that.
Siri
Whoa.
to where you put the language you're speaking and what you want it to translate to, and on the spot you
Wow.
can speak and it'll translate it for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
So
gotta check
that would make
out.
touring amazing. But
Yeah,
that's so
yeah.
true that we all know, especially in San Diego, you pick
Yeah.
up basic Spanish when you're
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah.
Like I could get by if I was like in
Yeah.
Tijuana for the day or something.
Right, yeah.
But if I went over to Japan, I'd be
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
While you guys were there, you went to Tower Records though.
Yes.
How old are you guys?
26.
Okay, so did you ever like grow up going to the record stores much to buy albums, or was streaming, was iTunes the way of music by then?
Yeah, I was kind kind of lame. Like iTunes is like the first thing I remember of like.
No, that's not
buying,
lame.
like,
that's where we were with technology.
Yeah,
I feel
like that's when I remember like buying music was like 99 cents, like iTunes.
Or like my older sister had like burned CDs, you know. And
I
like
used to partake in that a lot.
Yeah, so that was. I think we were just on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a car that didn't have like an aux or Bluetooth, so I was a CD guy in high school.
Yeah.
So you knew that
just for that reason. But
there was something so beautiful about it. When you used to walk into Best Buy, it was just hundreds of CDs, and Tower Records existed. So, I guess I didn't even know they existed in Japan.
Yeah.
But so I guess they have that location out there still, which is
it's cool.
awesome.
Last time we went, because we've been there before, is the first time we had a little section, which was cool, like an Almost Monday tab.
Really?
Yeah.
You had one of the tabs, one of
the
those white
tabs.
tabs with your name in black.
Yeah, there's
on
like
it,
2
so you
CDs.
just-
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because the others were sold out.
Yeah,
That's why.
There's the EP and then Dive, and it was like in the tab. Like it was so cool.
Yeah.
That must always be so surreal to see. I'd imagine if I were an artist and if I ever saw my CD in a store or heard my stuff on the radio, I would never get sick of it. I would always be blown away.
Truly.
So speaking of your car not having the aux cord or whatever, are you guys still driving the Green Machine?
Yeah, dude, that thing's parked out front somewhere right now, man.
I did want to recommend the aux cord. I believe doesn't work in there.
Yeah.
which encourages
Your
you guys-
research is great, man. Like
Oh,
you know what you're doing, man.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
I like the research. It's good.
My aux cord is also out in my car,
Yes.
so I bought a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, that's what
that
we do
I
that
just
too.
have.
And just rip Bluetooth.
Yep. But it's giving you a good chance to pick up some CDs and stuff.
That's what, yeah, and that's like kind of the funny thing about the Green Machine is we've taken from Cole's high school days and we just have like stacks of CDs. Like,
Just endless stuff from back
Yeah.
when your car wasn't working.
Yeah.
Or to play the
Yeah,
auxiliary.
we also just like
We just
when
bought
we're
a
in a
ton.
city. We're just like, oh, let's get more CDs, and because we're old, we're over the rotation. So
Yeah, we gotta get some
new
Goodwills and
ones.
thrift shops have so many
Yeah.
CDs nowadays.
Yeah, we've got some good finds, and then when we get bored of the CDs, we pop on the Bluetooth speaker as well sometimes.
the CD game is kind of fun though. Like it really makes you listen to a record,
It
which
does.
is cool. Like it makes it, for some reason, I don't know if you feel that way, but it makes like the listening feels more important. I don't know if that makes any sense. It
Yeah.
feels like more like is at stake when you listen to like a CD or a vinyl for that.
And I
matter.
feel like that because even just with the CD, you have the limitations of that album
Yeah.
that you're listening
Yeah.
to. So why skip anything?
Right.
But when you're on your phone on Spotify, it's so easy to hop over to
Right.
anything
just
at all.
and
that
your
you
attention
want.
span is almost because you know there's more. It's almost like a big, it's like Cheesecake Factory with the menu. All of a
What's
sudden,
next?
it's
What's
like
next?
it's like all of a sudden you're reading a novel, and it's nice to just be limited to like, okay, like I'm in this song right now. You know what I mean?
She said I can't slow down if I wanted to. Yeah, the speakers sound loud, spinning round the room, and I don't know where I'm going, but I gotta move. She said, boy, are you coming too?
When did you guys all three start making music together?
2015 or 2016?
Yeah, it was so weird. Our path has been really weird. Like we kind of started Almost Monday just to like play. So like the songs we wrote were like we didn't ever have a plan to like record them. We were just like let's just jam in a garage and then like tell people to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So the songs were like really strange. Like I wouldn't even like know what verse 2 lyrics would be, and I'd kind of just like scat
Wing it
through a
all the
verse
way.
2. But yeah, like I feel like we properly started doing music. Like I think our first release was like 2020, like where we like recorded a song and like
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of those high school days were just kind of scatting through a surf shop, and just inviting friends.
A
Like,
lot of covers.
A
lot of covers.
What would you guys have been covering back in the day when you?
dude, anything
Everything.
you can imagine, like
Yeah, everything.
John Mayer,
Paradise Wonderland.
In Excess,
We could live for 1,000 years.
Star
Police.
Wars theme song, The Office theme song,
No Blink-182
The
mixed
Police,
in there?
you
No
too.
Blink. Oh boy.
But bro,
Yeah.
Cole has some cool Blink
Oh, yeah.
lore that you might geek on, dude.
Oh, can I ask?
You
what
should
the-
definitely get some Cole lore.
Is there any
Yeah,
worth
I've-
sharing here?
Well, I was fortunate enough to grow up with like my best friend from childhood. His dad managed them like in the 2000s, so that was my first concert. I don't even remember, but my
Was it Rick
parents said,
DeVoe?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, you
my
know Rick
God.
DeVoe?
He's such a fan. I love
Okay,
it.
and you're a real fan. Well,
That's rad.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, the DeVoes are family friends of ours. So yeah, apparently my first concert ever was in the San Diego amphitheater with No Doubt opening for them.
Oh, do you know what year?
I think I was like 6 years old or something. So
What
it
year
must
were
have
you
been
born?
like Must have been like 2004 or something like that, or 2005.
That
maybe
would have been
around
right
that.
before they broke up. Because Tommy's a massive Blink fan. Oh, you're wearing a Blink shirt today.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Dude, so Tommy, Blink-182 in 2011, they had a contest and it was like, make a video to promote our upcoming European tour. Winner gets lifetime tickets. Tommy won that contest and has lifetime Blink-182
No
Oh
tickets.
my
way.
gosh,
Oh.
dude, no way.
That's
And
a
then
crazy
Vivo
contest.
picked up his series because what he did was he walked up to girls in hidden camera and recited Blink lyrics to them to pick them up.
Hey, I'm Tommy. I suck at getting girls, so today I'm gonna see if Blink-182 lyrics can be used as pickup lines.
No
He was like, "Where
way.
are you, the angel from my nightmare?"
Always failed?
This world's an ugly place, but you're so beautiful to me.
I'm engaged.
Dang it!
But then Vivo picked it up and he did it for like a Taylor Swift episode, which they showed her on Access Hollywood once. They're like, "Have you
What?
seen the guy who does this?"
There's this darling boy, and he goes and just sings your lyrics to girls to try to pick them up. Have you seen this? Really?
It's a love story, just say yes.
Oh my God, he's the best. He's the best. He's perfect.
So that's Tommy's Blink lore.
Wow.
That's sick though, you know, Rick DeVoe.
That is-
That's
yeah.
a legend.
Dude,
in my
I mean, Cole was literally Tom's intern, bro.
Yeah,
He's-
I was
he
the-
doesn't
What?
give enough lore.
Dude, Tom was my very first ever interview.
Really?
When I was
Wow.
14, my local radio station knew I loved Blink, and Angels and Airwaves was coming to town.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Come on down and chat with him." So I did. You were his assistant.
Not. I don't think assistant
You guys
is what you call
dated?
it, but
He's actually his kid.
no,
Oh my
yeah, we.
God.
I think it was like when I was really into playing guitar, when maybe I was like 12 or something in middle school, and I think my dad was like, "You should just go like intern for Tom at the studio and like get him like food and stuff." And like, I was like, "All right, sure." And I just like, I think I went for like a couple weeks, just like popping in, like watching, and then getting everybody lunch.
Well, if they need that job filled again,
Yeah.
count me in, because that sounds really exciting. So what do you guys have coming up apart Lollapalooza? That's coming up in Paris, and I know that's with like Olivia
Yeah.
Rodrigo, Benson Boone.
Right.
What, that's huge that you're
Yeah.
going to be doing that, but what else is coming up?
We leave, we start the second leg of the dive tour on Saturday.
Full Europe, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
start in Madrid, so we'll be out there for a month, just going everywhere in the UK and Europe, and it's cool. It's like almost sold out. It's gonna be rad. We're just hoping to have some time to just get back in the studio and start writing for album 2. So, yeah, man, just like constant.
But it seems like you guys write a lot, so I'd imagine that you've
Yeah.
got some ideas and stuff in the
Yeah,
works.
well, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. I feel like people, I don't know. At least for me, I'm just realizing it now. But like your first album, maybe Luke, you always said this, but you kind of have your whole life to write the first album.
100%.
And then the second album, it's like, oh my gosh, we're so busy on tour and we have no songs for it yet. So it's like, it's a very different like mental. You're kind of like, you have all these songs like Sunburn's on Dive, and that song's an old song.
The days we spent with temporary, but you'll always be that sunburn on me.
You know, we wrote that in 2022, so it's like it's gonna be interesting now, like kind of not, I don't want to say pressure, but it's sort of like
limited
limited
frame,
time,
yeah.
like we got to get, and you know, we're touring a lot, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and it's weird because with social media, at least there's always chances for songs to pop off or
Right,
to
right.
have years old songs that are still getting you a new audience.
that is super cool.
So at least you can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because that's cool. But yeah, that's a good point. Once you have the first album and you're out touring the world, where do you really find the time?
Right.
to
It gets
even
hard.
do
It's
it?
like the more successful you are, the harder it is, which is cool.
to do it. And but you guys are having a blast with this.
It's
it
amazing,
seems like
man.
touring. It's crazy how
the
much
best,
you've toured
dude.
overseas and stuff already, but you're loving it all. Yeah.
Fun to hang with the boys and go see some new places, shoot videos everywhere.
Which all your music videos are great, by the
thanks,
way.
dude.
And
Appreciate it.
they all seem to have kind of that vintage vibe to them.
Yeah.
We shoot on film.
Yeah,
you know.
we
Oh, do you actually film on film?
Yeah, 16.
16 millimeter.
That's pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Bolex. There's this old camera called a Bolex that we've shot a lot on, and it's like, I think it's like a 1950s or 1940s camera.
Yeah, that one's like the spring, like hand crank.
Hang it. And
But then
it
we'll
gives
also
it
shoot
really
on the
good.
SR, which is
The
like,
SR, yeah. So
Yeah,
we've been really fortunate
Yeah.
to just work with like. It's funny, like when people talk about like visuals, right? Like videos or artwork, like we've just like tried to work with people that are way cooler than us, and that's, you know, like a little key there is just like work with people you would dream to work with and throw out a little email and see, you know, sometimes
You never
they're
know.
down, yeah, like
Uh-huh.
so it's cool.
No, that's awesome.
Shout out Dave Bauer and Sam Kristofsky.
Is that who you're working with?
Yeah, those are two heroes of ours that did a lot on this album, and Jack Ravel.
Yeah, well, Almost Monday, the name, by the way, where does that come from? Because it's not like a good term, I'd imagine. Whenever I
it's
say
not even a good
Almost
name.
Monday, it's
I like
not a
it.
good
I
term
like it
or
now.
a good name.
I like it now.
Where did it come? Where did it come
Yeah.
from?
I mean, so our buddy Jonah, just like we were trying to find a band name in those surf shop days, and he's like, "You guys should be called the Mondays," and we're like, "Okay." Like we didn't really think about it. I mean, we weren't even recording music. We were just like, we just need something to go by. And we were playing this really, really random show in Syracuse a few months later, and come to find out that there was a band there called the Mondays. And so we had to scramble in Syracuse and came up with Almost Monday because we couldn't be the Mondays.
Yeah,
So
that's
we almost
great.
were.
That reminds me of Blink-182, who were Blink, and then they had to change
Oh yeah,
to
they were
Blink-182.
Blink. Yeah, exactly.
I just try to compare you guys as much as I can to my
Yeah,
favorite
that's
band because
perfect.
you're a young trio, and
We love it.
I think it's
San Diego,
awesome.
yeah.
But
That's
thank you
cool.
guys. So
Thanks,
Dawson,
dude.
Luke, Cole, thank you guys for stopping by and
thank you,
chatting.
man.
Almost Monday. You guys are touring the world, so everyone can just keep up with what you're up to. Dive is out now, the deluxe version with a couple new tracks. So thank you guys for chatting. Good luck tonight at the sold out show here in Los Angeles, and see you soon, hopefully.
Cheers, man.
good.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, dude.
Thanks, guys. And that will wrap up my chat with Almost Monday. Big shout out to Dawson, Luke, and Cole for taking the time to chat. We really appreciate it. And be sure to check out the deluxe edition of their album Dive and catch them on tour around the world because they are constantly, literally touring all over the place. Stay safe out there in the green machine, boys. And don't forget to subscribe to the Spout Podcast, where we have got brand new episodes every week where we are chatting with your favorite celebrities and they are spouting off about more than what they are famous for. Turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, in that interview, we referenced Tommy, who is our camera guy, and I told the story of how he won Blink-182 tickets for life. Truly one of the coolest stories ever. But I know people are going to have questions and want to hear from the man himself. So joining me to talk about winning Blink-182 tickets for life, Tommy Wooldridge. Hey, man. How's it going, dude?
Hi,
Dude,
Nicholas.
In front of the camera for once. So, Tommy, you've filmed
Yeah.
interviews for me for what, like 6 or 7 years now or something like that.
Don't say that.
And
That sounds
yeah,
like a long
seriously.
time.
Time flies, but we were just out at the Echoplex where we chatted with Almost Monday. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone can understand how narrow that green room truly was.
I know the cameras didn't even do it justice.
We've set up on tour buses and we had more space with that. But I loved hearing that the guys were from San Diego and all the Blink 182 lore that they had. The fact that one of them was the assistant to Tom DeLonge. Like,
That was
excuse me?
crazy. Me off camera and you both freaking out at that.
And in hindsight, when I was watching it back, I was like, oh, I wish I asked this or I wish I asked that. But I was literally too excited. I didn't know what to think of it. But then I got an email back from their team, and one of the guys on his team was like, oh, I'm from Poway. I went to Poway High where Tom DeLonge was kicked out of. And I was like, the love of Blink just keeps on giving. But Blink 182, it's the shirt you're wearing. It is both of
Yes,
our
this
favorite band.
Oh, yeah. This is the shirt I was wearing in the interview that you couldn't see on camera.
Oh, yeah, because we did point out you were wearing a Blink-182 shirt. So
Yeah.
the story that we told was you won Blink-182 tickets for life, which to someone like me, who's a lifelong Blink-182 fanboy, I remember when that contest was happening in 2012. I think I said 11 on the interview, but it was 2012, right?
Yeah, 2012.
So talk me through how you got Blink-182 tickets for life, and then the story that it led to after, because you did some crazy stuff after that.
Yeah, so Blink has been my favorite band since high school, and in 2012 I had already finished film school and was kind of being a production assistant around Nashville and just figuring out my life. And then randomly on Facebook one day I saw Blink-182 posted they were doing a contest, and the only rules were you needed to make a video to put on YouTube, and it had to show their European tour dates that were coming up. So I instantly thought, okay, I have to do something because the grand prize was tickets for life to Blink's shows. So I loved YouTube even back then, and I had just watched a bunch of prank videos where that was kind of before the it's just a prank bro thing had taken off, but I had seen a couple videos of people, specifically one video was called Almost Picking Up Chicks. That was hilarious, of just a guy going up to girls, kind of talking to them and then turning and walking away, and it being really awkward. And I thought, ooh, I could do something like that, but with Blink-182's lyrics. And I remember even being really concerned at the time of, are people going to think I'm stealing some idea? Are other people doing this? And I found one other video where someone had used lyrics as pickup lines, so I thought, okay, this feels like a new enough idea. So I texted my friend from film school and said, hey, I have this idea to use pickup lines, Blink-182 lyrics as pickup lines on girls, but I'm so nervous. I don't think I can do it. I'd be so awkward. And he said, dude, we got to do it. We got to film this tomorrow. Because the deadline was like a couple days
Within
later.
days, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the next day we went out in Nashville and went to college campuses and parks, and I just went up to girls, and I had a list of some of my favorite Blink lyrics that I thought would make good pickup lines. And by good, I mean bad, because they were all rejections. Every girl said no. Every interaction was extremely awkward, but I knew going in that I was terrible at talking to girls, so that would be funny. So that's what I submitted, and then I would say 30 minutes after the contest ended, they emailed me and said, hey, you won the contest.
So they knew all along. I bet they were just watching stuff pouring, and they're like, yep, this one still takes the cake.
Yeah. And that, especially at the time, I remember looking at other submissions, and people were just like making slideshows of pictures of the bands with the tour dates, and I felt like, okay, I can do something. That encouraged me, because I felt like I can do something better than this.
So then when there's Blink-182 shows coming up, all this time later, we're 13 years later, how has it worked, and how does it work? Do you have a golden ticket that you just show up at a Blink show and they say, TW, Tommy Wooldridge, come on in?
Yeah. That's what I wanted. I really wanted some kind of physical ticket, but no, instead they just gave me the email of their merchandise guy and said, yeah, anytime you want to go to a show, the rules were I get a +1, but it has to be me in my name and I pick it up, because then if it wasn't, I could just sell 2 tickets to every Blink show that ever happens. So no, I have to be the one that picks it up. And and then so I just emailed them. It was a couple years, honestly, before I got to use any of the tickets, because I was just waiting for, when is Blink-182 going to play close to me? And then in between that time, I moved from Nashville to LA, and then I saw Blink-182 was playing at some wine festival in Vegas, which was a drive, but I was like, I gotta go just to see my first Blink show since winning these tickets. And I've told you this before, but I didn't realize at the time that was gonna end up being the last show that Tom DeLonge played with the band before their second breakup.
Yeah, before the Matt Skiba era happened, which is so crazy. And did you ever get to meet the guys through this video? Did they ever see the video?
Mark Hoppus tweeted it the day that I won the contest, so I know at least he watched it. And then I met Travis at a Vivo event, because I ended up making this a series with the company Vivo.
Vivo picked it up. They ended up dubbing lyric lines. You did episodes on Taylor Swift, which I mentioned in the interview. They showed to her. They did one. You did an Ed Sheeran one where someone showed Ed Sheeran. Isn't that crazy to think of what that idea if your friend didn't say, come on, let's go out and film it right now? That would have never happened, and that changed your life, because you even went on. It brought you to The View.
Yeah, I went on The View
as a guest. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That one was because I used Luke Bryan's lyrics as pickup lines, and then The View had me on with Luke Bryan, and they said, Luke Bryan's going to teach you how to actually talk to girls.
Back in November, we actually were out at the Country Music Awards, the CMAs, and that's where Tommy was able to meet up with Luke Bryan again for the first time since that happened, like many years later, and he remembered you from that. Wasn't that a cool full circle moment?
Yeah, that was an awesome reunion that only got to happen because of Spout. So that was so cool seeing him and kind of reminiscing with him.
I miss those days. We need more video contest giveaway days giveaway things, because that was like the thing in the early 2010s. And I'm surprised I didn't apply to that exact one, because I remember when it happened. So that would have been funny.
You would have hated me, this bastard.
You would have hated me, because I'd have a lifetime Blink-182 tickets right now.
That's right. That's true.
With what I would have submitted, but that was a bit more.
I am surprised you didn't enter.
Yeah, me too. And I remember literally when it happened, and I remember when they announced your video as the winner. So it's just weird how years later we ended up crossing paths and working together. So
yeah,
it's a bit more into the story of how Tommy Wooldridge won Blink-182 tickets for life, and that'll about wrap it up. Anything else you want to add on that?
No, I love you. I love
Cool.
you. I love everyone.
Yeah, nothing but love all around. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the Spout Podcast. Turn on the notifications so you never miss an episode where we have brand new ones every week. Next week, Eric Zachary is chatting with and dancing with Dasha, according to what he posted on social media. So that looked pretty interesting.
You're going to teach me the line dance to it right after this.
Oh, God.
I heard that there was a shot involved, too. Not my words.
When we do the spin, it's the shot, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take my heels off for that because I will break an ankle.
And in case you missed it, I just chatted with Benny Blanco. That was an awesome chat, and it is out now. Were you nervous when you proposed?
I wasn't nervous until the second she walked in, and then I was like, oh, I was like, what the Yeah, one time me and Ed Sheeran wrote the album Divide on a cruise. They gave us a studio space, but we were sharing it with this old lady who was like playing the piano. I know when I wake up, we're both thinking the same thing. We're like, oh, how can we make each other's day better?
I'm once again Nick Major with the Spout Podcast. I just hit my microphone. Sorry. Thank you for watching. And thanks for jumping in to chat a bit, Tommy. That was a fun story.
Sure thing. Anytime.
See you all
Only for
next
you.
time. Yeah.
Whoa,
bye.
the hearts.
Oh, whoa. What other... Wait, I think I did this once with Tamara, maybe? Like we...
Yeah. Does it do peace sign?
Heart.
Ooh, party. Did you see that?
Wow. I love technology and the future.